Hi friends, happy Wednesday. Welcome back to our math lesson for today. Today for math, you will need page 299 and page 300. You'll also need pages 301 and 302, as well as a pencil. So go ahead and pause the video and grab the materials that you need. All right, friends, welcome back. Before we get started with our learning target and our activity sheet for today, we're going to go over some skills that we've been practicing. Let's start today with looking through our number cards. I have our number cards, numbers 1 through 20, all mixed up together. We're going to name them out of order. So these are not in sequence. So let's go ahead and name our numbers. Ready? Here we go. 8, 17, 18, 7, 6, 5, 15, 2, 4, 1, 3, 16, 20, 19, 13, 9, 11, 12, 14, and 10. Good job. Give yourself a big old kiss on the brain. Excellent. Now let's practice some counting. Today we're going to practice counting up to 30, and then we're going to practice counting backwards from 30. So we're going to do both. We're going to start by looking at our number line, but notice today I have our number line to 20 across the top, but then I continued it along the bottom to 30. So I started it at 0 just to remind us that 0 is the number that comes before 1, and it represents nothing. So if I have a plate of cookies and there's 0 cookies on it or no cookies, that means I have 0 cookies. There's nothing on there. So let's count starting at 1. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now let's wiki rewind. Everybody say wiki rewind. Now we're going to count backwards from 30. Starting at 30, let's count backwards. Here we go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Very good. Let's do a roller coaster cheer. Click, click, click. Woo! We made it to the end. Awesome job. So now let's take a look at what our learning target will be today. It says, I can represent addition as putting 2 or more numbers together. That big word represent means you're able to look at words and know that those words mean that we're adding. So in order to help us understand what adding is, let's sing our adding song together. Let's wake up our singing voices. La 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 la. On the count of 3, let's sing. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Adding means putting groups together. Adding means putting groups together. Adding means putting groups together to make them bigger than before. And then we say, when we add, our number gets bigger, except when we add with 0, then our number stays the same. So I can have 5 add 5 equals how many altogether? 10. Or I could have 3 add 0 and my number stays the same at 3. Today we're going to continue practicing understanding that the word and means plus or add. The word is the same as equal. So I have blank and blank is blank. So we're going to take a look at groups of pictures and count how many are in each group. We're going to put those groups together and say how many there are all together. So on the board I have an example. I have 2 smiley faces and a heart. So we can subitize those zippity quick. Our eyeballs can see them and our brain should know it right away. So how many smiley faces do you see? 2. And just to double check, I'll mark them out. 1, 2. We have 2 smiley faces. And how many hearts? Just 1. 1 green heart. So I have 2 and 1. When I put 2 smiley faces and 1 heart together, now let's count how many we have all together. 1, 2, 3. So 2 and 1 is 3. 2 add 1 equals 3 is another way to say that. Let's take a look at our solve and share for today. Our solve and share says that Daniel sees 3 tomatoes on a plant, and he also sees 5 tomatoes on another plant. So we see our first group has 3 green tomatoes. Let's go ahead and count and mark those out just to show our work. 1, 2, 3. Let's also write a 3 on the first line. Okay, now let's count the red tomatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now let's write a 5 on the line. Okay, great. Now we're going to see how many tomatoes we have all together. So let's count and mark them out the other way. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3 and 5 is how many all together? 8. So we're going to write an 8 on the line. Okay, so let's flip back to our guided practice. We're going to show the same thing on our guided practice, but our directions are a little different. It says we're going to count our groups, then we're going to draw a circle around the groups to put them together, okay? So the first one, they've already given us our dotted numbers for us, but let's check our work. Let's count how many peppers there are all together. So let's count the green ones. Ready? 1, 2. We're going to write our 2 on the first line to show the first group has 2. Now let's count our orange ones. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to write a 4 on the second line to show there are 4 orange peppers. Now, let's draw our circle next to show that we want to put those groups together. So when I have 2 and 4, let's count how many there are all together. I'm going to mark them out the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many peppers are there all together? 6. So let's trace our 6. And now let's read our sentence together. 2 and 4 is 6. Or I can say 2 add 4 equals 6. But that's what we're working up to. Let's try our next one. We have 2 types of vegetables. They're eggplants and tomatoes. Let's count how many eggplants are in the first group. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's write our 5 on the first line to show our first group has 5 eggplants. Now let's count the tomatoes. We have 1, 2. So we're going to write a 2 on the second line. Now let's circle both groups to show, oh, we're going to add these together. So let's go back and count how many there are all together by marking them out the other way. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5 and 2 is 7. Another way to say that is 5 add 2 equals 7. Okay, great job. Now we're going to skip past page 301 and we're going to skip to page 302 so that we can practice some more together, and then you'll do page 301 on your own. On page 302, it says, what do plants need to grow? So when we have plant seeds that we plant, we always water them, right? They need water, dirt, and sunlight. So that's just something to think about since we have vegetables on the back here. So we're going to put our groups together and show our work. So let's count our eggplants in the first group. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to write a 9 on the first line. And then look at this multicolored pepper. Let's count it. We have 1. So 9 eggplants and 1 pepper. We're going to draw a circle around both groups to show we want to add them together. And then we're going to count how many there are all together. So let's count and mark them out the other way. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 9 and 1 is 10 all together. Okay? All right. Let's move over to the next one. If you need to pause the video at all to go back, you can do that. We're going to keep moving on. So the second one, we have eggplants and green peppers. Let's count how many eggplants are in the first group. 1, 2. And let's count our green peppers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have a group of 2 and a group of 6. Now I'm going to circle both groups to show we're going to put them together. And then what do I need to do to show my work? To count how many there are all together. I need to count and mark out. So let's do it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all together. So it says 2 and 6 is 8. Can you read that with me? 2 and 6 is 8. Good job. Now let's come down to number 9. Number 9 tells us that we're going to do the same thing. This is not a challenger yet. So let's count our green pepper. We have 1 in the first group. So let's mark that guy out and then write your 1 below. And then we have our multicolored peppers. So let's count and mark those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on the second line, we're going to write a 5 to show we have a group of 5. And then we're going to circle both groups to show we're putting them together. So now let's count and mark out how many we have all together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have my sentence. 1 and 5 is 6 all together. Can you read that with me? 1 and 5 is 6. All right, now we have our challenger. So everybody look at number 10. We don't have any more vegetables, but we have some red counters. So our challenger tells us that we're going to draw another group of counters, and then we're going to show our work by putting them together. So let's first count how many counters are in our first group. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red counters. So let's write a 5 on the first line. Then we have our word and, which means we're putting them together, but I am missing a group. So I need to figure out how many more I add to my 5 to get to 8 altogether. So one strategy that we've used before in our other challenger is using our fingers. So I'm going to start with 8, and I'm going to put down 5 fingers to show I already have that group made. So let's put down 5 fingers. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many fingers are left for my second group? 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's draw 3 circles or 3 counters in our other group. We have 1, 2, 3. I'm going to count and mark those out just to double check. 1, 2, 3, and write it on the line. Around the tree, around the tree. Now I'm going to draw my circle around both to show that I've brought those groups together. I've added them, and now all together I have how many? 8. So let's read our sentence. 5 and 3 is 8. Very good. So for your work today, you're going to flip back to page 301, and you're going to do the exact same thing that we did on all of our other problems. You're going to count your first group, write your number. Count your second group, write your number. Draw your circle around both groups to show that you're adding, and then write how many you have all together on the last line. Once you finish all 4 of your problems, you're going to post this activity sheet to your teacher's Google Classroom. Great job today, friends. I will see you tomorrow for your next math lesson.